The Genie is quite an interesting one. At base form, aside from granting the entire team a level 2 attack buff, he also grants a level 2 damage reduction buff. This buff reduces all damage received by 20% at the start, stackable to level 4, which reduces damage received by 40%. This is an incredibly rare and incredibly useful buff, which stacks exceptionally well with the defense buff. This alone makes him probably the most versatile buffer in the game, and he is easily paired with other buffers like Tinkerbell, Stitch, Pooh, and Belle. Since his base form provides level 2 buffs, by using his buffs every single turn, you can effectively full stack his damage reduction after just 2 turns, and you can perpetually full stack his attack buff to 50% after 3 turns. But this is just the start of it all. If you raise him to limit break 1, he gains a brand new level 2 buff, Evasion. This instantly provides a team with a 30% chance to avoid all kinds of attacks and debuffs, which is in itself a sure win RNG. Meaning with a little bit of luck and repeated tries, you would be able to beat any content in the game so long as they do not remove your evasion buff. Evasion goes on to a cap of level 5, which grants the buffed allies as much as 60% evasion for more favourable RNG. This also means he alone is sufficient to autocast Cinderella's EX skill on his own with his triple buff. If these do not sound stupid enough, Genie eventually goes on to Limit Break 2 with level 3 across all of his buffs, allowing him to full stack all of his buffs in just 2 turns. And the buff only costs you 20 SP because stupid. But enough of his skill, let's take a look at his EX skill. The EX skill is a simple single target damage, but there is actually a lot more underneath than it seems. So long as you have at least 75% HP, you will always throw your EX skill after casting a basic skill. So unless you guard him, this means the Genie will always be attacking every single turn. Furthermore, his EX skill will also always be boosted by his own attack buff, making him hit reasonably hard for a support character. This also makes him really powerful against bosses as he prioritizes single target damage. But a funny quirk to how his EX skill works is if he uses his basic skill but the enemies die in the same turn, then his EX skill will actually be reserved for the next turn in the next wave. Not too sure if this is a bug. Now moving on to customizable abilities, given the flexibility of his role and skill kit, you could run with many different options. You can prioritize debuff resistance, crit chance bonus, or SP charge and SP gain. I personally went with skill up resist as his buffs are just too crazy to risk losing. But that's kinda it. Genie is a very straightforward buffer and incredibly useful sub DPS to boot. He was my tutorial selection, and getting his first copy meant that getting his limit breaks were that much easier to achieve. Definitely highly recommended for new players.